Hello and welcome to Skyrim, this time re-released on podcast form. I'm your usual host, Joe Braced, and I'm joined here by Tony, Tones at RT.
Hey, I'm still here.
If you were watching
Again.
2 minutes ago, we just had a massive power cut, so we're going to have to re-record this first 2 minutes. But this week...
You say massive. It was like the whole street, but it was small time.
But hopefully it doesn't count again, and we should be okay. But... if it does halfway through, we've got the Twitch VOD, which we're live streaming, so that's like our backup anyway, so we can just edit half of it back anyway. So this week you wanted to talk about a hot button topic of yours, kind of a pet peeve of yours, is that Steam releases sometimes aren't actually released.
In the new releases tab, as we can see here, there are stuff that currently are not available. I do want to mention Aragami.
Nightfall looks in the Aragami DLC. I'm interested in it.
We like Aragami. DLC looks fantastic.
It's in new release. But it comes out in May.
Yeah, I'm fine with this being on Steam early.
Right.
However, it is not a new release. It's an up and coming thing. Why can't Steam since Steam Direct, we've had the problem of too many games, too many DLCs, and it is a pain. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games coming out this year already.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a couple of days ago, I think last week now, I was just looking through Steam going, you know what, I'll go through all the new releases. It's been a while since I've done that. And it's I click a few of them, and most of the ones I clicked and like the look of were oh, it's coming soon.
So you click on Pathos.
Soon.
It says it's release date 8th of April 2018, but it's also got coming soon. This item is not yet available.
You suggested that maybe this is coming out later today. That's fine.
Maybe
that's correct. However, I've definitely seen ones that I've gone a month back and it's still saying it's coming soon.
This was meant to apparently came out yesterday, but it's
still coming soon.
To be fair, I am pretty hyped for Rabbit Jigsaw Puzzles. I think we can all admit Rabbit Jigsaw Puzzles is an up-and-coming release, and we want to know about it before it comes out.
There used to be a decent up-and-coming part on Steam. I don't know where that is anymore or how it functions.
Gotcha. It's not getting fuck off. This is a Tony wishlist item.
No, I hate jigsaws. They're not interestingly do the same thing every time.
This is not a Tony wishlist item, then.
It just annoys me. It's if you just had a decent up-and-coming system and a decent... here's all the new releases, and you can click between games, software, streaming videos, DLCs, and demos, and that's pretty good, I think. Because I just want to see all the games. Sometimes I just want to see all the DLCs. That's great.
One thing we were talking about is we were thinking about maybe making some more spotlights on demos. So we're just going to grab a bunch of up and coming demos, basically, of games that look interesting, play them, and be well, this game's coming out soon. Nobody really knows anything about it. From the demo, it looks pretty interesting. So that might be an interesting way to go with Spotlight. So we're going to try that. There should be one coming out after this podcast. That will be a demo of the up-and-coming game.
Yeah.
That hasn't got much coverage on it.
Most things on Steam these days, you have to... If they're small, they're unlikely to have any coverage on them.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Steam Direct.
Yeah, I think the main problem is Steam just has a really bad way of showing you the games that you might be interested in and not a bunch of new release.
I know Jim Sterling, he wants to go through all the new releases and curate it himself, and it's not very good tools and things. Because there's still tons of stuff coming out that are not games. Still, and they still allow them through because they pay their fee and they get on. It's are they actually looking at these games?
No,
they're not. They're still fake games on Steam.
There's no quality control on.
No, but there's still fake games on Steam. Valve's words of what a fake game is on Steam.
There was a Jimquisitions a few weeks back. They were talking about asset flips, and it was saying just because some games take pre-built assets and turn them into asset flips doesn't mean every game that uses pre-made assets.
Absolutely not. That's why you need to play every game to determine whether it's an asset flip or not.
No one person can play every game, so they need some sort of algorithm.
I want them to play it for 10 minutes, Joe. You can employ one person to do that.
Do you know how many games were released in just 20? More games were released in 2016 or 17, I can't remember what it was, than all the games on Steam combined.
Yeah, I agree, but per day. Yeah, but how many games come out per day?
A lot.
Yeah, but enough for only if you're employing them for the entire day. I think you can get through 10 minutes every day.
I think what you're saying is something that needs to be a computer, because I don't think a human could do that.
How would a computer do it though?
Algorithms based on
How
what
would you
people
play
like.
the game and launch an algorithm? I want to just launch the game. Hell, get Jim to do it. He can launch the game,
Get Jim
and he
Sterling to play 10 minutes of every game.
yeah,
upload
he
it
can
to
post
Steam.
the video, and whatever the verdict of the video
That's what
is either on
Squirty-
Steam
That's
or
what
not.
Squirty Plays is.
Yeah, that's what I want. I just want, but every game.
But that's why that's why they're putting forward the curator system, so you can know whether a game is complete dog shit or not.
But Jim complains in his Squirty Plays and things. They're not called that anymore, but
the name
he
changed.
claims that like there's still it's like yes, it's fine that the curators can do this, but he still has to find these games, and he finds it very difficult because there's so many games.
Okay. Well, anyway, is there any games in particular you've been playing this week, or any TV shows you want to talk about?
No, I've been pretty well. I mean, I could talk about my Minecraft Escaping Hell mod pack that it's not my mod pack, but it's called Lost Souls.
Have you started the recording yet for the series, or is it still soon TM?
It's
forever?
still soon. Yeah, it's still pending.
Soon.
Pending. We've had some issues and things, and then we've had to start from scratch, and then we're just going to do little baby steps.
Is it like a dual POV thing, so you'll have like both perspectives?
No, I don't think so. It's
just your
me.
perspective.
Yeah,
Okay.
But my idea is we'll just record for like 3 hours and edit it down to the interesting half an hour. That's my plan.
I remember back in like 8 years ago, like 2012, me and Jonathan did like a co-op Tech It series, and we recorded like 40 episodes or something in one day.
That's what people do these days, though. Cause
Yeah, really?
They don't edit. Yeah, they don't edit it
But
down.
I think
they have a massive
we
backlog.
came to the consensus that even though it's like way easier to just spam a bunch of recordings and then cut them up,
Yeah.
just like one long continuous hours and hours and just split them up, it's probably better in the long run for like people to be able to engage with the videos.
Yeah, I'm the firm belief that you do a recording session, you edit it down to one video or a couple of videos, you release it within that week, and then you have like for the next recording session you wait for a week, and then you can see the feedback from people. Obviously, we're not going to get feedback straight away because no one's going to fucking watch it. But if they do,
I get people commenting on my videos, so you'll probably get someone commenting on your videos.
When they do, I won't be able to then go,
Dave comments in every podcast we put out, and
God bless Dave.
If I send him your videos, he will
Yeah.
put a comment on every single one. He will watch it every week.
Dave is.
I guarantee. He is loyal to a fault. But okay, go on.
God bless Dave. This is all I want to say to that.
He'll probably complain that he's not allowed on your Minecraft server. That he'll want to play.
He's not allowed on it. It's just for recording.
Okay.
It's a strict recording channel, Joe.
Okay.
So what was I saying?
You were talking about Minecraft
I know,
and
but
recording, and you were saying you think it's a good idea to record a lot and cut
I
down.
think but I think like recording every week you can like incorporate people's feedback and actually like talk about it. If you're recording a batch, you have to wait like loads of videos before like now it's up to date to these comments, and it's like that doesn't work for me. Also, I don't like just the spamming of Let's Plays, just like one episode a day, like because it just becomes like, especially in Minecraft.
I don't know Let's Plays.
Especially in but imagine a Let's Play where you just record it all, right?
But I like streams.
Yeah, I don't.
Streams are just like one.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like things being
that.
edited down. Obviously, you have chat in streams though that really boost it up. But imagine streams without chat and it's episodic, half an hour every day.
But
that's awful.
The reason you can live stream like one continuous 8-hour session is because the chat can interact immediately.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But when you have an editing thing, in my opinion, you want to get rid of the boring stuff. Especially in Minecraft, there's plenty of stuff that's boring. So my plan is half an hour of the video, then that comes from like 3 hours, say, of recording. Or where it's not probably not.
Usually, what people do is they'll live stream their gameplay, and then they'll have a YouTube highlights of the best bits. Wow. And sometimes it's not even them. There's a lot of like content thieves on YouTube who will record other people's streams.
I don't want to risk the content there because then
you don't want to live stream.
Be...
You don't want to live stream your modded Minecraft Let's Play because
people are gonna steal my content.
What's that channel called where it's like Epic Plays or something like that, where he just uploads top 5 Minecraft YouTubers who sworn.
Well, I will say right now, I'm going to swear right from the get-go to make sure everyone knows that this is not... Well, I guess it still technically could be child-friendly, depending on what the parent or guardian thinks, but it's not going to be rated
There's so
PG.
There's so many of these top 5 channels things, especially like Fortnite. I think... I don't have the statistics on me, so don't quote me, but it's like... It is the most popular game on YouTube ever. It is insane. It's breaking records.
Probably true, but yeah, I don't know the facts. So
you didn't think it was more popular than Minecraft? That was your one quarrel when I told you last time.
I guess last time, but now it's like even bigger. So
yeah,
at the time I don't think it was, but now I think it probably is.
Speaking of being on the wrong tab. Speaking of Fortnite. We had 2 recent updates since we've been gone. We had like the heavy shotgun. Of course, we had like the guided missile. I'm gonna play this video for you. Pretty cool. Dave thought it. I pretty much was like, it's probably gonna be like the Predator missile from Call of Duty, which it kind of is.
No, it's like the one from Ratchet and Clank.
No, but in terms of how you use it, when you fire it, you go into a camera on the rocket.
That's how the Ratchet and Clank one works.
Okay, well, it's like the Ratchet and Clank one, but Dave was like, he thought you would guide it with like a laser. So
I see one of those.
But I was like, I had the idea that it was going to be like you'd watch from the camera on the rocket.
Yeah, that's normally called something like laser guided missile instead of like a guided missile. They would, I don't know.
But it's pretty cool from what I've seen.
It's going to annoy a lot of people though.
It's already annoyed everyone, even though it's very easy to counter.
Oh, is it?
There's a lot of bad players who've been saying like, the guided missile is really OP. The cool thing is,
against me, it could kill me.
The cool thing is like you can rocket ride yourself with it. There's a lot of like ways you can put yourself in the rocket and then guide yourself around on the rocket, which is really cool.
That's crazy.
There's like a lot of like plays like that, but people are saying, it's really OP. One thing you've got to know about the guided missile is you can just put a wall down and then it'll blow up when it hits the structures. You can just build around yourself.
Oh right, even if it's half
it doesn't go through structures. So if you build like a 1x1, you won't be able to just kill you.
Yeah.
So that's one weakness.
It's got a small blast radius, I guess.
The red tip can be shot. So if you shoot the missile, you can destroy it before it hits you. And the person who's shooting it is standing completely still while they're shooting it. I
see
because they're guiding the missile through a camera, so their character is completely still.
Yeah, you have to be hiding in a good spot.
So people are already complaining that it's fucking OP, but like people on the Fortnite like Reddit and stuff, the second a gun comes out, they're like, it's OP, it's OP, and then within a week they're like, it's trash. I don't even pick it up anymore. It's trash. Like they're so temperamental on that fucking website.
To be fair, it probably isn't the same people.
Like I remember, no, it's definitely the same people. I remember like when the minigun came out, everyone was like, it's broken, and now people are like, remove miniguns from crates, they're useless, and they haven't changed a single thing about the gun. So you're saying
they're meta chasers, they only know from the meta, they don't know.
But then it's not like a meta where they're good, it's just like people use them because they're new.
No, but there's a meta to like what people's opinions are. There's like an internet opinion of it, and they're following that instead of like trying to think about it themselves.
What I gotta say is people on Reddit are retarded. I know this because I use Reddit, and I'm retarded.
Okay.
So that's how you know.
It's not offensive because you're a part of the group you're talking about.
Sure. There was a sniper game mode. There was a new bunny suit.
I like the bunny suit.
Dave awakened himself. He was very attracted to the thick penny skin. I was like, something's awakened in you, Dave. That kind of like he started using like the pink Valentine's Day bear skin, and I was like, he was using it, and he's been very strange recently. I was like,
no,
he can't.
No, it's nothing strange about it. It's perfectly legit. I can see it too, Dave. I see it too.
So in the next update, they added vending machines. So based on rarity,
I was saying it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. At first, I was like, I kind of didn't like the idea because Well, it takes away so many materials, so
I see.
you
Okay,
can
fair
build less, which is like a huge part of the game. But they're in like static locations, and how much you have to pay depends on the rarity of the item.
Right.
So like a legendary will cost 500 materials, and you can cycle through them by hitting your pickaxe if you see in this picture.
Yeah.
So like a golden RPG might be 500 metal or 500 wood. It's like random, but it's pretty cool. They actually did some really cool quality of life changes for Save the World. Like, I won't go too deep, but they're like removing stamina from the resource bar, so you can just sprint forever without using your resource shit, which is really cool. Like,
that's always good.
And they just released a new video as well for Save the World, where they're making like a brand new kind of map. They're doing some other stuff, so I think they are supporting the game.
They're going back towards the Save the World stuff now, I guess.
Well,
before they weren't really doing
they
anything.
keep saying like we want Save the World to be to Fortnite Battle Royale what Call of Duty Zombies is to Call of Duty. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's definitely not comparable. There's like
it's completely different
like,
things, but I know what they're saying though. But yeah,
that's what they want. They want 50-50
Yeah.
like player space, but at the moment it's like 99.1%.
yeah.
Because like there's no way that.
But I'm still more attracted to the Save the World element than that. But that's just my personal.
Personally,
play style.
I wouldn't recommend getting it to anyone.
No, absolutely.
Like the only
It needs
reason
a
I
lot more
recommend it would be to get V-Bucks for Battle Royale.
That's not a good recommendation.
Which I don't think is that good. I mean, I've been playing a little bit. The quality of life changes definitely make it better, but it's still a free-to-play game disguised as a full-price game.
Yeah. It needs to be moved over.
There's
to
two
what
ways they
want it
can
to be.
fix Save the World. Number one, add more incentives for Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Or number two, actually fix the goddamn game.
Add more stuff. Make
Actually
it more
make the game worth playing.
Yeah.
Um,
That's how games work, right?
No, there's more Fortnite stuff. I was about to say it's the end. They showed off at I think it was CES the new Fortnite replay editor system. You're gonna be able to do some real like cool cinematic stuff in the when this comes out. Let's skip this part. There we go. They kind of showed it off a little bit. We haven't seen too much of it, but you're gonna be able to do some cool. Basically, every time you play a game, it will make a replay, and then you can have direct control over each replay and stuff.
They want the stuff that Overwatch has had for like play other games.
No, I think it's like more advanced than that. Like,
oh no, I'm saying more advanced. They want
like you can imagine like do you know like the camera mode in the cinematic camera mode in like GTA 5 sort of thing.
I'm saying like you know how that was like really popular for Overwatch, the post all your like plays of the game things, but like that, but you can edit it way more and get the angles
basically
you want.
can. It's like recording the whole map, so you can get any angle you want and stuff, which is pretty cool. But that they showed that off, which is pretty cool. So I'm intrigued by that. I really do want a replay system because it'd be interesting to go back and see some of my more interesting games.
I assume they're going to be using a similar system to Overwatch, the thing where it's not actually recording it, it's just like recording data points and then recreating it when you're going.
I assume so,
because that's otherwise it'd be crazy.
Well, I assume they're recording it on their servers. They keep having server issues because so many people keep like expanding and playing as they go on. Like they're getting more and more players too rapidly, so they're having to reinforce the back end servers to help with unexpected growth. Basically,
it's still too popular.
There's too many people playing it. Basically, so now that Paragon. I don't know if I've said this before, but I don't think I have. Assets from Paragon are now free via the Unreal Engine. So all of the Paragon assets are completely free. This is pretty cool, I thought. And I'm waiting for someone to take all these pre-made assets and remake Paragon. Because now all the assets are free. So I don't know how that copyright works. But someone could just make Paragon again if they really wanted to.
I think only the name would be copyright at this point.
I don't know who the hell is like.
Because normally, because they've made it free, so it's like a free license thing. You just have to state like in the credits where it came from.
So they could do that.
Yeah, you could have Paragon by a different name.
Anyway, next topic is also Battle Royale. It's PUBG is on mobile, and they're having a problem where PUBG Mobile is getting dominated by mouse and keyboard players.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Mouse and keyboard players are actually invading PUBG Mobile and threatening to overturn the balance of the game. You can install the game on a Chromebook pair Bluetooth devices to phones and tablets, or run an Android emulator on PC. I talked about this last week with Fortnite Mobile. I said there might be a big problem with emulators.
Yeah.
And they're using some controller setup. But basically what they're doing is they're using a mouse and keyboard on mobile and destroying all the mobile players. Which I was like, this is definitely going to be a problem when it comes to adding like Battle Royale to mobile.
I honestly don't think Battle Royale is for mobile.
As someone who's played Fortnite on mobile, I can say I would agree with you.
Okay. It doesn't look like it's fun at all.
I think the idea of having it on your mobile is a cool idea, and I think
it's great. The technology's there.
I think it would be cool if you had like a mobile and you had like a controller in your bag, and so you could just turn your phone into like a PUBG. Yeah. I wouldn't mind playing on like a controller, and then if it just put you in the same bracket as like PlayStation players and
Switch.
Xbox players, or I think it'd be really good on Switch because I think you need a controller to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's fine, but I think playing it on the phone screen it's not an experience I like. It's not something I enjoy. I would rather just not play it, to be honest with you, from what I've played. I haven't played PUBG Mobile, but I've watched it on Twitch. Lots of people are being sponsored to play PUBG Mobile at the moment. It's like a big sponsorship thing going on Twitch at the moment. But it doesn't look too fun. So,
if you like it, fine.
PUBG's also been suing a lot of similar mobile games. There's been a lot of people ripping off the Battle Royale on phone wave. So PUBG Court's taken legal action against a load of similar games. I think they actually have a lot of grounds to go on, unlike the Fortnite one that they were claiming they were going to do legal action against.
Too similar.
But yeah, the lawsuit filed on April 2nd in California alleges that 2 mobile games developed by NetEase constitute copyright infringement, trade dress infringement, and unfair business competition. In a full complaint dug up by Torrent Freak, the plaintiffs claim PUBG has suffered irreparable harm. I'm struggling with that word. As a result, and want NetEase to cease distribution and development of their games. So there's some screenshots here and some videos showing them off. That's the power plant in Rules of Survival, the knockoff, and this is the power plant in Battlegrounds. So they're pretty similar in terms of that. We've talked about some like knockoff games before in terms of like League of Legends knockoff in China.
One thing I would say is that a power plant in real life looks just like a power plant in games normally. So I'm just saying. I'm not sure if this will actually go through, but then again they'll probably have some.
I think they have enough grounds to sue on this.
Not based on that image, but they've probably got way more. At least I would hope so.
My premium trial of Malware Bytes has expired. Thank you. Next thing. So PUBG again. PUBG's got a new map. It's called Savage. It looks really cool because it's a tiny 4x4 map. So it's a lot quicker and more fast paced. Exactly what I wanted.
It looks way more interesting. I like the art, but the map design.
Exactly what I wanted out of a Battle Royale game. That's why I'm playing Fortnite, is because PUBG was just too slow for me. So when this gets out of testing, I will definitely try this out with a couple of friends.
More like Far Cry and less like an open arid desert with nothing.
I think these are like really good screenshots, but I think at the moment like a lot of stuff's not textured on the test servers, and I think a lot more people will be running it more low res just to help with like.
But there's still greenery and like different like colours and
I like the colour palette. It's pretty cool.
The map design looks good, the colour palette looks good, and some of the stuff looks quite nice.
I'll definitely test that when it comes out. Another thing about PUBG, they now have weapon skins in crates. So we're CSGO now, boys.
CSGO Royale.
CSGO Royale have invaded PUBG. People have been asking for cosmetics for a while now because the like skins you could get were kind of like because Fortnite's like they've built this idea that they're not a realistic Battle Royale, so their art design can go anywhere. They've given themselves enough freedom, but PUBG's like, we're a realistic military PUBG shooter sort of thing, so we have to kind of stick to, we kind of have to stick to kind of realistic things. But I think weapon skins is a good way to go for them. I don't give a shit about weapon skins, I'll be honest with
We
you.
haven't been affected by skin insanity.
I've never been affected by the skin insanity unless it comes to Fortnite skins and Hearthstone cards. Those are my weaknesses if you are looking to...
You're just a whale on those, not got the skin insanity.
But I have, I've given up my addiction. Like, I gave up my Hearthstone. I stopped playing Hearthstone now. There's a new expansion coming out, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not even going to play it. And then I've been playing Heroes of the Storm, actually, because there's a new character coming out, which we'll talk about next week. Hopefully he'll be out by then. But if he's not, I've just been playing that recently.
We've been waiting a long time for this day.
My number one most requested character in Heroes of the Storm. But yeah, they're also going to work on region locking as well, they've said. I think we've talked about this, but if you're like a certain ping bracket, you can't get into like the server. So they're talking about a lot of hackers coming from China. It's going to help with like cheaters.
They don't actually want to region lock, they'd rather just do it on ping.
There's like so many cheaters in PUBG, but I don't actually see it that much in Fortnite, to be honest with you. They have like a pretty good... Considering one's a paid game and another one's free to play...
Fortnite now IP banned though, right?
Fortnite, does IP ban.
That probably helps quite a bit.
PUBG doesn't IP ban, but Steam does.
Right, okay.
So if they don't have VAC on their servers, I don't think. If they got VAC banned, I think they can get IP banned.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert, so don't like question me, but it's kind of interesting to see. So that's PUBG news. Sonic Mania news. So Sonic Mania is getting a physical release with Sonic Mania Plus, which is the new game coming out. Mighty and Ray join as playable characters. A new Encore mode, a 4-player competition mode, and this will come as a free update if you are a previous owner of Sonic Mania. So you don't have to worry about buying Sonic Mania again. If you own it on Steam, you'll get this as a free downloadable update that will come when this releases, which is pretty cool. Sonic Mania was, from what I've heard, was a really good, faithful recreation of all the Sonic games, and plus some extra Sonic levels as well, and some new characters coming as well, which is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
The big announcement from Sonic though was that they have teased a brand new Sonic racing game. Now a lot of people have been saying, is it Sonic Racing? Sonic R?
Why would Sonic the Hedgehog release if it wasn't Sonic Racing? That's my question.
Alright, but they showed a car, right? People are thinking, because they showed the R, is it Sonic R?
Sonic All-Star Racing.
Sonic R Racing 2. But they showed a car, and they didn't have cars in Sonic R. You know what they had cars in? Sonic All-Star Racing Transform. Sonic All-Star Racing Transform 2, motherfucking confirmed.
I feel like that's confirmed. I think we can say that.
I saw a YouTube video from a guy who worked on like one of the original Sonic R games, and he said, "I've had no involvement in this." So whether Sega chose to go with someone else or they just, I'm not doing it, that's up to speculation.
It's Sonic All-Star Racing.
So we finally saw the price for the Vive Pro headset. The pre-orders open at $800 from April 5th. So that was, what was the 6th today? 7th today?
Like the 8th, 7th or something, I don't know.
What's the day? It's the 8th. That was 3 days ago, so you can now pre-order the Vive Pro. Pre-orders are open, and with the announcement of this being $800, they have now dropped the original Vive's price to $500. So if you're interested in picking up a cheaper Vive original series, now would be the time to do that.
It's still quite expensive though.
I'm waiting for like the one after the Vive Pro, like the Vive 2 basically.
Maybe I might be waiting even longer than that.
Really? What are you waiting for?
Well, you need hardware to support it as well. So
are you waiting for
money.
You're waiting for Ready Player One Oasis?
Yeah.
You just put on the headset and be in another world.
Yeah. No, I'm not waiting for that.
Okay.
I'm not interested in Ready Player One at all.
My brother saw it today, Dan, and he said it was good, but I've heard it wasn't good. They could be
I
lying.
tend to like things that
Mark
Ralph the Movie
Commode
Maker
on
likes, so.
Mark Commode is a BBC music reviewer, said it was pretty good. I've heard mixed things. So
I trust Ralph more than anyone else.
Ralph from Rugrats,
yeah. We agree on many movie things, not all things, but like we're quite similar in a lot of things.
In weird gimmicky VR news,
more VR news.
Inifinadeck VR treadmill has now come out. I think it looks like it's probably going to be completely broken, but it's just come out now. So apparently, some people were annoyed that it clearly shows you can only walk on it. Some people wanted to run on it, like you can in room scale, kind of. But they're kind of using like the Vive trackers on the feet, and then they have like a conveyor belt running machine thing to help.
The biggest part of this video is that he's walking like it's not like a normal walk at all. Like you can tell it's not a normal walk whatsoever. Like he's walking really weirdly. That's my only issue.
They always have to have that circle thing. The thing about having like the giant circle around you constricting your vision is like that's there because if you walk any faster than that very specific pace, you'll just walk off the conveyor belt. It's not ready.
No.
Like, because we saw the Virtuous Omni as well, where it was like the treadmill with a circle around it, and I remember it wasn't great from what released. This has come out recently, so we'll have to wait and see. Came out like 2 weeks ago. So I haven't read any reviews on it. I don't know if anyone's actually bought it, but I'll have to wait and see. Okay, someone's got a gif of it. I think that's what would happen if you tried to run on it. You just fall off. Look how slow they're going. Like,
yeah.
I'd rather be room scale teleporting if that was the speed I was able to move at. So I'm interested to see like I will say there is a big problem with VR at the moment when it comes to room scale is you have to have a really big space. So being able to have like a conveyor belt that could actually move at the same speed as you would be really useful. But I don't think this is the solution.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad idea in concept. I'm just saying it's a bad implementation of it. I think it has a use.
VR at the moment is just too early in development still.
Yeah.
And it needs to come further to commercialize, basically.
I need to see it work
if people are willing to still put the money in. So the next thing is another VR topic. Skyrim came to VR April 3rd. They released Skyrim again. Bethesda stop releasing Skyrim.
Why? This is a completely new game. It's the VR version. You shouldn't. Okay, I'll say right now.
To slap Bethesda.
You're allowed to slap Bethesda. I'll give you that. But you shouldn't be surprised. They release Fallout VR.
They need to stop re-releasing
the
same game again. I bet you it has the same fucking bugs as the Switch version.
No, I bet you it has the same old bugs plus more bugs.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Definitely has even more bugs because it's in VR.
Oh no, I think I mentioned this before, but have you seen like the bugs that you could get with Fallout 4 VR? It was crazy. Like weapons we reloaded will get stuck in these weird positions and just like hover in the air.
Apparently, it's got the tag walking simulator. Includes tags you filtered out walking simulator. A true full-length open-world game for VR. VR reimagines the complete epic fantasy masterpiece.
I actually really want to play it, but I know it's probably broken right now.
I really don't want to play Skyrim again.
We don't want to play Skyrim. Yeah, but you didn't even get past Jarl Balgruuf.
That's the final boss.
Yeah. That's what I mean. No, I think it looks really cool. I'd actually love to play Skyrim like that. I don't
find the gameplay engaging at all. Like,
really?
The combat system is really boring.
I guess. I mean, it's quite an old game now.
Yeah, they need to stop fucking re-releasing it. They need to make a new game.
No, I think it'd be way more interesting on VR though. Like honestly, I could see myself being like having way more fun with that, especially with the magic. I always like the magic in these Elder Scrolls games. Not sure about the shield or the archery. I'll be honest with you.
I definitely feel like Skyrim, like the combat style, is probably better in VR when it comes to like swords and archery.
That's the same for Fallout 4 as well. Like, even though like it's got like less story and stuff, but the actual gunplay was like almost not obviously it's serendipitous, but it's like almost designed for VR.
Not the best utilization of VR technology, but probably the biggest VR game out there because they built the game first and then put a VR port on it.
Yeah. That's what happens.
This is a 7-year-old game with virtual reality shoehorned into it.
It's not 7 years yet.
It is.
Anyway, technically it's not 7 years because it's using the special edition version.
Right,
so.
but the special edition is a updated version of the 2011 Skyrim.
Yeah, but it's a completely different engine though.
But it's still the same game. Almost everywhere apart from bugs and graphics.
Different bugs. Different graphics.
New bugs.
Different. Same story, same gameplay.
New Bethesda, same old bugs, with some new ones added.
Yeah.
I put on my not interested live on the podcast.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't want to play
maneuver.
Skyrim, and
you don't want to play Skyrim to begin with.
VR.
Yeah,
I know.
No, so I really want to play Skyrim VR. I'll say that. But it's going to be buggy as shit.
Speaking of Bethesda, though, there was a Fallout 3 remake mod, a full remake in the Fallout 4 engine, called the Capital Wasteland, and the remake mod was cancelled because they couldn't port. They were originally going to port over the original voice acting from Fallout 3 into Fallout 4, but they couldn't because of copyright issues. Basically, they couldn't give them the copyrights to use the original Fallout 3 voices into Fallout 4. The Capital Wasteland team got in contact with Bethesda, seeking official blessing for such a move. Unfortunately, the studio wasn't willing or able to offer such support, with little option beyond assembling a massive voice cast of their own to revoice all of Fallout 3. Again, they're officially calling it quits on the project after a full year of development, although they may yet still be some hope for it. So basically, this is on permanent hiatus
until they get enough voice actors.
Well, I don't think they're going to try.
No, it doesn't sound like they're trying, but
because if they copy pasted the Fallout 3 ones, there'd be huge copyright issues. There'd be cease and desist letters because they have to protect their copyrights.
Normally, Bethesda would at least greenlight this in some regard, but I wonder if there's contracting issues with the voice actors from back then. I don't know.
I mean, Fallout has had massive problems with voice actors recently, haven't they? When there was the Screen Actors Guild voice actor strike. People who were working on Fallout 4 said they had no idea even what game they were working on.
No,
because of the horrible condition voice actors are treated with in gaming. There's a whole reason behind the strike. They said that was a huge problem for voice actors. So yeah, I think this is definitely going to be a massive hit for the mod, and I personally don't think they'll come back from this. I think that they will they'll just give up on it, basically.
We either come out years and years later with one or two people working on it, or it's going to be dead forever.
Yeah. Dead in a week.
Yeah. Feels bad though.
The next piece of news is the first mod for Final Fantasy. What is that? 15. I have to think about Roman numerals before I read them.
Okay.
If it goes above 10, then I have to think about them.
What if it's IX?
IX. What's that?
9. If it's before, it's a minus.
Yeah, I get confused by Roman numerals. But the first mod for Final Fantasy 15, they should write that on the bloody box.
In brackets.
It improves, it improves loading time, stuttering, adds HD texture streaming, and it's the same modder that fixed Near Ultima, or Near a Tomato, as some people call it.
Near a tomato. It's a big
Near
tomato.
a Tomato, yeah.
Not automata.
No.
Near automata.
Yeah, if you're interested in playing Final Fantasy 15 on PC,
I am.
There's a nice little fix for it to help with loading time, stuttering, HD textures.
Yeah.
Next topic. Vermentide 2 is targeting late April Steam Workshop support. They want to add Steam Workshop support. The devs are working to remove extreme difficulty spikes. They've said that there was big spikes in difficulty in the campaign, making it quite hard to progress through a lot of it. We'll have to see that comes out. Seems quite positive from what people have said. I personally don't like it because it's kind of just in my opinion, from playing the first game and seeing reviews, it's kind of like a Warhammer Rats Left 4 Dead skin, basically.
That sounds amazing. You've sold it.
I mean, do you like Left 4 Dead?
Yeah, I've never played too much of it, but I like Left 4 Dead.
I'd say it's definitely got like
But-
more RPG elements than
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead.
To me, it's like got more stuff in that makes it different. So, and yeah, the setting is way different.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Oh, so everyone's favorite game, Super Seducer. Sony has actually blocked Super Seducer on the PlayStation Store in a unprecedented move from Sony. They've actually quality controlled their store and blocked something from being uploaded to it.
I mean, why is the Life of Black Tiger allowed on here with racist overtones?
With a video on the official Sony YouTube channel.
With racial overtones. Well, accidental racial overtones. Whereas this
is allowed on.
It's, I guess, technically misogynistic to some extent.
The title has been criticized for being sleazy and promoting toxic behaviors and attitudes. Apparently, the guy really doesn't like the negative reviews and criticism of his game, and he takes his game very seriously. Like, a lot of people are thinking it was like a comedy game, like it was like a parody, but it's an actual.
It looks like a parody.
It's like an actual real guide for how to pick up women, which is
when
hilarious.
I watched Donkey's video, I was like, wait, is this a parody of a game? No, it's a real one.
It's an actual real game, but Sony's removed it because of quality control. Apparently, that they now have.
It's not the.
What was that?
The
What was that
politics
game we were
behind
talking
it.
about on a previous podcast? Where it's like, it was literally just an achievement farmer, and then it got removed from. Sony store.
It was like 5-star, wasn't it, or something 5-star?
It was like a jigsaw puzzle game.
Yeah,
disguised. It was disguised as a jigsaw puzzle game, and it just gave you instructions of how to complete the puzzles. So you can unlock like 1,000 achievements
and then
to increase your PSN score.
And eventually unlock the platinum.
Yeah.
So dumb.
What? Hang on here. Okay, I'll just reload. So big news was that Middle-earth Shadow of War is getting a free game update coming July 17th. 6 months after release, Shadow of War has randomly decided to remove all loot boxes from the game after the huge controversy.
And they say exactly the same thing everyone said, that buying orcs completely defeats the point of the main bulk of the game. Who would have guessed it?
Yeah. So my big question is,
why did they add it?
Why was it added in the first place?
Oh, money.
If it was going to affect the game so negatively in the first place,
money.
And you are now probably going to have to rebalance the entire game because there was literally a point in the campaign to progress through the story to get the actual true ending of the game.
You need all the orcs.
You had to grind, and basically, unless you wanted to buy orcs, you'd have to go through hours and hours of grinding.
That's basically what they said. Is like they've said that they're going to have to rebalance this part of the game because of it.
This comes after. This comes after Star Wars Battlefront just removed the boxes. There's been huge controversy around loot boxes in gaming, and we've actually seen a real impact from game developers to back off on their kind of predatory gambling game monetizations, basically.
When did this game actually come out? Because as soon as
Shadow of War.
Yeah, because as soon as
6 months ago.
From today.
From around now.
Because it's coming out in July, this patch.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 8 months.
Yeah.
At least, if not 9 months.
The ability to purchase gold will prematurely cease on May 8th, they've said.
Well, thank goodness for that, but it sounds like the free update properly that's going to rebalance the shit
it came out like winter last year, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I remember. It's or just before winter, it was November release or something.
I'll deny it.
As soon as I heard it had loot boxes and stuff in, I instantly didn't want to buy it anymore because it looked good.
27th September 2017.
Oh my god,
6 months ago. But yeah, does this interest you to get the game now that you know this is being released?
It honestly makes me want to get the game. However, I'll probably still get it on offer, and I'll see whether it does actually fix the game. I have to somehow find reviews of it post 9-10 months after it released to see if it actually is better. That's crazy. They should not have released it in the awful state it was, in my opinion.
They did say they will be updating all the sections of the campaign.
Yep. They're gonna fix the shit they broke.
They're gonna try. I'll be interested to see if it actually fixes the game, and then maybe think about it. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely. But they said that like you're never gonna be able to buy gold again. You can't buy orcs, and you won't be able.
Yeah.
And they're gonna
So
fix the game.
one reason someone said that I read on Reddit was that they have a new DLC coming out soon. So I think they're going to be like, oh, we're going to remove loot boxes, get a bunch of people to play the game,
So
and
they
then they'll buy
the
the DLC, basically.
I'm not going to be buying the DLC.
So that was like one of the main reasons why they were actually going to back off the loot boxes.
It's probably that, and no one's buying loot boxes anymore than like 1 or 2 people.
I think everyone's buying Fortnite microtransactions, playing Fortnite, and then not spending any money on loot boxes in single-player games.
No. Especially not when you buy orcs that can get killed.
You know when like single player games come out and they have to state and it won't have loot boxes in it. Like we've come to a point where if any game comes out they have to go and we don't have loot boxes. They have to state that to let people know that there won't be loot boxes.
Yeah, you have to make sure we're not evil. We doesn't have loot boxes. It's fine. But it's like
current year, man. Current year. Can't believe current year.
I know there was news of like Spider-Man stuff like not coming with loot boxes, like the Insomniac one.
We saw some more Insomniac Spider-Man stuff at PAX.
Yeah, but I think there is like we saw like it's going to be like no microtransaction bullshit, and it's like well of course it won't be. It's like a first party thing to sell the console.
We'll talk about Spider-Man on the PAX section next.
Yes, we will. I'll get more into it then. But
yeah,
I just want to make
that. I think that was one of the games where they said Spider-Man is a single-player game, won't have any loot boxes in it. I was like, I sure the hell hope not.
Yeah, but the thing is, I agree with Jim on this. Like, there's like a difference between games being directly like monetary funded by like Sony or Microsoft to get these games released. Like, of course, it won't because it's there to sell the console.
Because with
it has a completely different mindset.
With Monolith, the devs, I think there might. I can't confirm or deny this. It's pure speculation, but it might be that Monolith wanted to make a game without loot boxes, and then maybe Warner Brothers said we're going to put loot boxes in.
We will not fund
to make money.
Them. Yeah,
but that's pure speculation. I can't confirm or deny that.
Well, they still agreed to do it. The thing, even that is true. Monolith still agreed to do it.
But sometimes, does the end justify the means? If Warner Brothers says we want loot boxes in it, you go, okay, we can still make a pretty good game with microtransactions in it, and maybe later down the line,
it'll be a great game.
It'll be great. We can update it, get rid of the microtransactions, and make it a great game. We've got the legal funding. Does the ends justify the means? In my opinion, in this case, I don't think so.
I think it'll be fine, but it shouldn't.
But there's no way you could have known that 6 months later there'd be such a backlash on loot boxes that Warner Bros. Would be kind of forced to remove them from the game to sell their DLC.
Even if Warner Brothers were like, yes, you can re-release the game properly in 6 months' time, it still sets a precedent for loot boxes. It's still a bad idea. Do you remember
there was that leaked EA strategy where they were like, we understand we're going to get a backlash from Battlefront, so we're just going to make small changes later down the line and people forget about the horrible
shit. They deliberately
doing.
Released the beta to be slightly worse than the release. And
so they can go, okay, we heard your feedback from the beta and we're making the game great. It's like, well, you didn't actually change anything. So, that's the kind of predatory shit big game publishers are doing now.
And game publishers...
They're giving you a turd and then they're polishing it.
Well, they're giving you a turd and making all their other great games into turds, and you're like, why am I going to big game publishers for these games?
Because
indies do way better games.
They show you a turd and then they polish it and then they go, look, there's a polished turd.
Yeah, but I'm not convinced it's just a polish. I can still see it's a turd.
Yeah.
I agree it looks better than a normal turd. There's
an expression, you can't polish a turd.
Yes,
they did on Mythbusters.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they shine.
You can polish a turd, but it's still a turd at the end of the day.
You have to keep rolling it into a ball and polishing it.
But it's still a turd at the end of the day.
Yeah. Anyway, April Fool's was
interesting.
Interesting. We didn't see much out of many companies. We saw a small April Fool's joke from Fortnite. They made the impulse grenade randomly sometimes shoot you into the sky, and the boogie bomb to make you jump higher. We saw World of Tanks or World of Warships turned you into ducks for a day. We were fingers crossed for Guild Wars 2 Super Adventure Box, one of my favorite April
World
Fools.
3, but no, there's no World 3.
There's no World 3. It's not worth installing, boys.
No, I installed to get enough baubles to be able to get the boombox.
There's the candy cane node. There's a bauble node.
Yeah, I've got
added this pack.
Yeah, I've got it.
So if you want to farm baubles in your home instance,
I'll say now it only gives you 24 baubles. You 250 baubles to get a bauble bubble.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing the names, but you'll understand it if you play it. But we're still waiting for that. We're still waiting for level 3, which is when I'm gonna play it again.
I don't know how long does it take to develop a jumping platforming game?
Like, I'd say the best April Fool's joke have to be Super Adventure Box or like Earth, the League of Legends game mode where they took away everyone's cooldowns and mana costs and let everyone go crazy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But half of Exile became a Battle Royale game for one day.
Did it take only like 1 day of development as well to
yeah,
make
they said it took 1 day of development and it's just 1 day of Battle Royale game, which I thought was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
So if you don't know, Path of Exile is a free-to-play action RPG that is meant to be more like Diablo 2 than Diablo 3. So if you're a big fan of like the style of Diablo 2 compared to Diablo 3, where Diablo 3 is kind of more of like an action, kind of more like a co-op game you can just casually play with friends, and Diablo 2 is more like a hardcore game, RPG game. This might be up your alley. You might want to try Path of Exile. It is free to play on Steam, so if you're interested in playing it, I'm kind of interested, but I don't know if I'm ready to give up enough time to put into like grinding a action RPG when I'm playing so much Fortnite at the moment.
Yeah, it's on the Fortnite craze.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Grind and save the world, doing missions I don't care about to get V-Bucks for Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And here's the storm for certain Diablo character. Speaking of Diablo, there's one of my favorite Diablo characters is coming. Here's the storm soon, but we'll get the big reveal next week. But it was just for April Fools. It did actually happen. If you want to check that out, you can watch like some YouTube videos of people who played it. I'm not sure how it turned out, but yeah. Next topic, No Man's Sky. We know nothing about it, but Sean Murray's announced that this summer there's going to be a massive update.
Can I write Peter Molyneux's No Man's Sky update? Because like it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big.
It's an update about an update. But given the track record of actually releasing good updates for No Man's Sky, I'm gonna give Sean Murray this one.
Yeah, but that's how Peter Molyneux started. Go, well, we believe you, Peter Molyneux.
I'm giving into the hype of No Man's Sky once again, that this summer update will be good.
No Man's Sky Peter update. That's what I'm writing. You can't stop me.
And they're like, it's another free update. People were saying
it's the biggest.
They should be free updates because they paid for the game and it wasn't complete. But the fact that 2 years later they're still supporting the game and trying to knuckle down on it, I think's a really good way of trying to atone for the mess that was No Man's Sky. So I will be looking at this again. Hopefully we can spotlight it when Tony plays the game.
Well, I own the game, so we can actually look at this update.
I had it installed for a long time because Tony said, I'm going to play the game and we're going to spotlight it.
Didn't I get this strategy by Guild Wars or something?
Probably.
Nobody
knows.
It was some time ago, though.
So we were talking about Ghost of a Tale. I think it was on Joe's wish list, or I don't know if we've actually talked about it on the podcast before, but I saw a really interesting
we've been seeing it for
stealth RPG game about where you play a rat, and it came out recently, and there's quite a few bugs in it. So there's been a massive update that's the developer said that it will make the game the way he wanted it to be played. He said that despite its issues, there's a big fix list. So if you want to read, I won't go through all this, but there's a big fix list of fixing a bunch of bugs. And there's separate fixes with spoilers if you've played through the game and you want to read those. Next topic is Pokemon Go. Out of nowhere is getting an update. So it's now introducing story missions and daily quests. The next major update will from Niantic, which apparently still develops Pokemon Go. You wouldn't think so based on their community interaction or like any updates.
Lack thereof.
Yeah. Are people gonna play Pokemon Go? Do people still play Pokemon Go?
Well, I guess some people do, but no.
If you're one of the people who still plays Pokemon Go, let me know, because I don't know if this is going to interest you. It doesn't interest me, but I know Pokemon Go is such a massive game. Like 2 years ago, was it now? 2 or 3 years ago. If story missions and daily quests would interest you to play Pokemon Go again, let me know. So the next topic is THQ Nordic. If you don't know, THQ Nordic is the company that bought up a lot of THQ's assets and has been reviving old game genres and keeping stuff alive.
Yeah, they're like the good version of the people who bought up THQ's assets. Because there was like what's the silver one called? Who like owns
Deep Silver.
Deep Silver. That's it. They kind of don't know what they're doing, in my opinion. THQ Nordic.
David asked me the other day, where is Dead Island 2? Because they showed a trailer at like E3 2014 or something. They still haven't released anything about Dead Island 2.
Did they not?
No, they made Dead Island Riptide.
They gave it.
And then they made like a weird like MOBA game that didn't really go anywhere and was terrible. I think. But THQ Nordic has teamed up with Nickelodeon to revive classic games. So if you're a fan of any of the iconic Nickelodeon cartoon characters like SpongeBob or Rugrats or any of those games. I know I was a huge fan of the Rugrats game on PlayStation 1. I'm really excited to see if they are going to revive that game. There's a full list, but some of the fan favourite games are the SpongeBob, Rugrats, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Avatar The Last Airbender. So if you're interested in any of those games, they are getting revived by THQ Nordic, and they're going to remake them. So that's going to be pretty cool. Next topic is Sea of Thieves was number 1 on the UK chart a week ago. I still don't know how, because I still don't know what you do in the game. It's a game about the ocean and has about the depth of the puddle. There's 5 hours of content in it. It's one of those make your own fun games. Yeah. There's not too much to do. Because you were kind of like, oh, it looks interesting. I was like, I still don't know what you do in the game.
Well, I said, I like the art style and I like the idea of being a pirate, but I said I want to see what you actually do.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And then I kept saying that.
Yeah, I kept saying that. Because it was like, you can go on a ship on your friends and sail around the ocean. It's like, what's there to do in the ocean? Get chests. Why? You can bring them back and buy cosmetics. Oh, okay. How many cosmetics is there?
Because we're both big pirate fans.
There's a couple.
We love pirates. And there's yet to be a game that I think is like 100%, yes, I'm definitely a pirate. I feel I could play this a lot and it's great. Yeah,
there's Ratchet and Clank pirate game.
That's the best pirate game
He's
ever.
Saying Quest for Booty, Ratchet and Clank.
I still play that game.
I wish it was a full game and wasn't like, where they did that weird thing where they started all your weapons like level 3 and it was like a mini episode of Ratchet and Clank.
It was just like in between development. I'm okay with that, but yeah.
But despite negative reviews, Sea of Thieves was the number 1 in the games chart last week. And it did not count the Game Pass. The Xbox Game Pass includes Sea of Thieves, despite not including people playing it on the Xbox Game Pass. It still sold the most copies of any game in that week. That's pretty insane.
Well, I feel kind of sorry for all of this.
Exclusive as well.
Yeah,
well, it's Windows 10 PC. I should mention.
Yeah.
But because PS4 dominates the UK at least. The UK has like a massive.
I think they dominate most of them because they have the most good games.
It's console. It's definitely PlayStation and Xbox. Like Nintendo always gets outsold by like PlayStation games. Like what was it? The Cyborg game with where you hunt people with a bow and arrow.
Oh, yeah.
What was that game called?
Horizon
Zero Dawn outsold Legend of Zelda in the UK and nowhere else in the world. Like that shows you how popular,
but we love
the PlayStation is compared to like the Nintendo and PC and stuff like that.
We loved that game though. To be fair, like it was advertised everywhere.
We loved that game.
Yeah.
What do you mean we? Are you including?
No, I mean the country.
Because I don't think it looked very interesting.
Oh, it's very interesting to me. It's my kind of game, right? To a T. It's annoying. I don't have a PlayStation 4.
They're bringing Crash Bash to the not Crash Bash.
Crash Bash.
Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy to PC. So I'm going to be really interested in play that on Steam.
That looks good.
Because I'm not buying a PlayStation 4 just for that game. But even though there is a lot of games I want to play, I don't really like buying a console just for platform exclusivity.
No, it's not the greatest. It's not worth the money normally.
Like either. I want to play Super Mario Odyssey, but I really want to buy a Switch.
I want to buy a Switch though.
Not too much, or I can't afford it. I should say.
I also can't afford to buy a Switch, but I do also want to buy a Switch.
Okay. I think that's one more topic is Telltale. So they released the season finale for the Batman game, The Enemy Within, and apparently it's their branchiest episode. Like it has the most choices. Whether that's true or not, it like claims to be the branchiest episode. So the same Stitch, the one before it, features 2 fully separate takes on the fully evolved John Doe one, a ruthless villain that's closer to the classic clown prince of crime and other unpredictable vigilante. I'm just fucking that up. But the same Stitch contains 3.5 hours of content spread across 2 completely distinct storylines. It was like the same Stitch was like mathematically the most choices in any Telltale game ever before that point, right? So
this is
this is coming out March 27th and claims to be even branchier than the episode before it, basically. So because I think we said before, Telltale's like, we've got new technology to make Telltale games branchier than ever, and they're working like new engines and stuff.
Yeah, they've got like an easier tool to be able to connect.
I personally don't think it's going to make a goddamn difference. I think it's going to be choices don't matter still.
I think it depends person to person. Because to me, like a lot of what Telltale do is fine for me.
It's just like a story, and you push buttons to continue the story.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint. Is not that the branch don't like the choices you make don't matter. It's just that the gameplay doesn't matter.
The gameplay's not interesting.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem.
There was like Pillars of Eternity. It was like another one of those games, I think. Or is it? Am I thinking of a different one?
You think of like CRPGs where you can take like lots of different branches.
There was
parts. There's Divinity Original Sin 2 that recently came out. I think this you can take lots of different as well, can't you? No. Yes, this is a CRPG. Yeah, you can take branching choices then.
Yeah, there was one that came out recently that was very interesting.
That's the one I was the most anticipated for. Divinity Original Sin 2. I
don't remember what it was called. It was like, it's like the most popular book in Germany. I saw about it on the Cup podcast. But it was like set in a
Mein Kampf.
Yeah, that's the most popular book in Germany. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
But it's like a really popular, basically, it's like a fantasy story set in like England in like medieval times, and you have to progress the story and choose who to kill. And I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I read choices don't really matter in that still. So it's not like a Telltale thing. I think there's a lot of like CRPG sort of things where choices don't matter as much as they seem.
But what do you mean by choices don't matter? What are you expecting from the choices you make?
Despite how you acted in the previous episode, the story pushes itself along no matter what you do, even if you chose to go a different
But I don't see how else you could do it in any other way. Like, how would you ever program a game?
You would have to make enough choices that each of your actions impacted. It would take a lot of development, but it would actually make an interactive story.
Yeah. I think, but you would still be pushed into one of set directions, though. You'd still have but you'd have more
directions than what these games are giving.
Divinity Original Sin tends to have way more directions, I think.
You'd have more directions than the Mass Effect 3 ending.
Yeah.
Choose a colour.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, people get annoyed with that. Like, in the end, it's down to just choices before never mattered.
Yeah.
I think with Telltale games it's a little bit different, and I think I'm fine with how Telltale does it. Maybe it could be a little bit better, but I'm personally okay with that.
So I think that's the end of the podcast now. Next week we'll be talking about PAX. So we're going
The
to
actual PAX podcast.
I'll go to the Peter Molydeux tweet, which is he made his own montage to the. You remember the White House made their video of violent video games, so he made his own YouTube video of peaceful video games. I guess you would say.
It's a cracker video.
By Peter Molydeux, of course.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous, showing all the love and compassion in video games that Donald Trump didn't see in the White House press briefing. All the good that comes from video games.
Look, even Phantom Pain has some good
Big
in.
Boss.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Press F to pay respects. Press F. Zelda and his well, I guess that's Link, but Link and his cats.
It's in the Zelda game.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking like Mario has to be the most iconic Nintendo character because you could say, "Oh, it's Milo," because people could say like Link is the most iconic, but then it's like everyone calls him Zelda, even though Zelda's the princess.
Game you didn't like?
Not for this reason.
No.
Just because it's a bad game.
Yeah. Hard So Dad. Best game ever.
The quap of hated AAA game. I've no fucking clue.
I don't know what this is, no.
It's a DS game
What?
or something.
What?
Wait, what is this? Bully?
Yeah, that was Billy.
Or in the
Heavy Rain.
in Europe, it's called like Das Candium Edit or something.
Yeah.
It has
Can't
a different
call it
name.
bully. It makes people become bullies somehow.
Canis Canum Edit. It was called like Canis Canum Edit. It was like I think it was like the name of the school. Or something.
Don't kiss.
No, don't.
Let it go.
This just shows the love in video games. Do I need to transformative Peter this so Peter Molydeux doesn't sue us?
I don't know.
Transformative Peter.
What the
It's
hell is
gonna
going
be
on?
great. Thanks, Peter Molydeux. We didn't ask you for permission for this. I just thought it was a good video.
It is beautiful, Peter. It really is.
This is beautiful, isn't it? And someone said, some say Trump heart grew 10 times that day. It's like the Grinch. But we'll switch to the baked bean fact. Yeah, that's been the Inbetween Podcast. I'm usual host Joe Brace. You can catch us on YouTube and everything in between podcasts. Twitch.tv/Scorn will be recording live every week if you'd like to watch it there. And you can follow me at Scorn2000 for Twitter updates, and we'll see you next time. So that is the end of the podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
I need to set this up.